Nobody is talking about it, and it is driving me crazy. The Insta360 Ace Pro 2 is an incredible camera, as is the DJI Action 5. I bought the DJI Action 5 a month after it came out. I then decided to buy the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 because I wanted to compare them. But here's why nobody is talking about it. Because most YouTubers are vying for companies' attention to get them to send them products in the future. Or they were already sent those products with stipulations of what they can and can't say. It doesn't behoove most YouTubers to be honest about issues with companies. It may not boast well for me in the long run in the future of my channel, but I don't really care because people need to be talking about it. The Insta360 Ace Pro 2 is an amazing camera. I think the DJI and the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 are both great action cameras. The DJI is a little more rugged and the battery life is amazing, so I think it makes it a better action cam, but the Ace Pro 2 has better stability and it's more suited for vlogging. So it's really kind of a personal preference. The DJI Action 5 is a little over sharpened out of camera, whereas the Ace Pro 2 really shines in low light, but if you compare the two, it looks a little AI over processed in low light. But the DJI has the trumpet flares in low light. Both fantastic cameras in their own right, both shine in areas that the other one doesn't, but neither one of them are without their flaws. My issue is not with the quality of camera from Insta360 Ace Pro 2. My issue is with the company and how they've handled an issue. I personally didn't encounter any quality issues. Originally, I took the Action 5 Pro back because I decided the Ace Pro 2 would be better for my use case. But after seeing countless issues and getting mixed messages from the company, I decided to take my Ace Pro 2 back and I got the Action 5 again, and I couldn't be happier. Here's where my issue comes in with Insta360 Ace Pro 2. Once a certain percentage of launch day orders were received and people started using their camera, you started seeing a quality issue pop up discussed on various internet forums. I'll throw some pictures up on the screen of the quality issues I'm referring to. I'm also going to throw some responses from Insta360 on the screen. You can see how they handled and how they addressed or how they ignored the situation. I personally got mixed messages from Insta360 where I had a tech admit there was an issue, although somebody did post a fake email from a company or an email from a company that was confused. There wasn't a recall, but then I was asked to take a Facebook post down by Insta360, which I think is very strange. So here's the timeline of events that have occurred and where the issue happens. On launch day, Insta360 obviously sells a ton of cameras from their website and from all sorts of retailers. To my knowledge, there haven't been a lot of issues reported in the United States. These are mostly issues that occurred outside of the United States. Like all products, on launch day, there were multiple reviews posted online of YouTubers who were sent these cameras a month or two before, which I think is all well and good, and oftentimes the feedback of those YouTubers is used from these companies to make changes specifically to firmware leading up to launch day. It's a great practice. This is nothing against those YouTubers, but I'm still kind of shocked that nobody is talking about it. So going back to the timeline, Insta360 sells a ton of cameras on launch day. Everybody is very excited about this because the Insta360 Ace Pro 1 was such a success. Once a certain percentage of people begin to receive their orders, you start seeing this quality issue pop up on various forums across the internet. What's the issue? Well, the issue is the outer lens begins to fog when you're recording in 4K or 6K or 8K. And it's typically under 10 minutes. Now, is a fogging lens a huge deal? No, it's not. And there were several people that posted solutions to it. And nobody expects the launch of new tech to be without quality issues. It happens. And what I believe happened is Insta360 discovered that long before all the launch day orders were fulfilled, thus stopping the launch day orders, leaving tons of people without any communication on where their order was from the day that that product was launched. So we have two issues here. We have the quality issue, which again, quality issues happen and companies are usually pretty good about addressing them. Then we had countless orders on launch day that went unfulfilled, and there was no communication from Insta360 for weeks. People were emailing Insta360 and not getting accurate details on when their order would be launched. So Insta360 discovers the quality issues, stops the products from going out the door, then ignores the issue and doesn't address publicly, leaving tons of people without their orders. So let me again say, my issue is not with the quality issue that was discovered. My issue is with how Insta360 handled it. They didn't handle it. Yeah, they handled it on their end by isolating the quality issue and didn't send out the remainder of that first batch, but they didn't communicate with thousands of people who ordered on launch day. And as you started to see that quality issue posted on forums more and more and more, Insta360 remained silent. When you would email them and they did admit that there was a quality issue, you got mixed responses depending on which tech that you talked to. They should have sent out an email to everybody who ordered, and they should have communicated what was going on and what the plan was. But they didn't, and that is indicative of a company with very poor leadership at the top who's only concerned with the bottom dollar. All they care about is making sure that they don't lose sales, and inadvertently, this caused them to lose tons of sales. It's also really shady. I know there were some issues with the launch of a previous camera with how they were telling YouTubers what they could say, or what they couldn't say, or that they were sponsored or not sponsored. This is another big issue. No company is without issues. No company doesn't have quality issues, but how they handle and address issues defines a company. It defines whether people are going to buy that product in the future when they come up with something else. I don't care how good your technology is. If you can't put the consumer first, if you can't communicate with your consumer, then you're not going to have loyalty in the long run. You can continue to innovate, and you can continue to make great products. But if you bury your head in the sand when you have quality issues or when you have shipping issues, people are not going to stick it out with you. All while other companies are continuing to advance at the same pace that you are, aside from GoPro. There will be another company who makes a 360 camera very soon. There will be another company who makes a flip out screen action camera very soon. So Insta360, you guys have made a splash in the action world with your 360 camera. Your Ace Pro 1 and even your Ace Pro 2 are fantastic. Your Go camera is an awesome little camera, but you gotta do better communicating with your customers if and when you ever encounter another issue like this again. And YouTubers, I understand that you're vying for that next camera. I understand that you'd love to get a sponsorship. There are a couple of YouTubers that I really like that I keep seeing commercials over and over of them pushing the new 360 cam. So I get it. You don't want to say anything. That's your revenue. But I think your audience expects a little better from you as well. I think more YouTubers need to be honest with us. And not posting stuff that's clickbait about, oh, they've stopped production. Could this be the end of Insta360? There's a YouTuber somewhere out of France who did something like that. There were no facts involved. People hadn't really started posting the quality issues. That was clickbait. Again, do better, YouTubers. Post with facts, talk about the real issues, talk about the quality issues, throw pictures up on the screen of the fogging issue, and let's make Insta360 communicate better with us in the future. I just think we need to call out companies when they make very poor leadership decisions that does impact the customer, because there are still people who ordered in October who have not received their camera. And that sucks. And a lot of them probably aren't going to receive it until after the first of the year. And a lot of those orders have been canceled. So Insta360, if you had it to do over again, I bet you might choose to communicate with your customers who ordered that camera a little bit differently. At least I hope you would. For anybody who made it this far, you're part of the 20% that actually watches YouTube's all the way through. Thank you. Leave me a comment. Say something terrible. Tell me how I'm wrong. I don't care. Engage with me. And many of you are going to buy the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, and I might even buy it again in the future. But I think it's important that we talk about these things, and I think it's important that there are more YouTubers who are open and honest in the future about companies and about products. I'm a small business owner. I get it. But when I have issues that impact my clients, I don't bury my head in the sand. I call them, I talk to them, I address it, and we fix the issue moving forward. I guess technology companies don't have to do that. But what happens long term when companies do that? They don't end up making it, because there's always going to be somebody else on your heels. All that said, Insta360, you want to send me a camera to review? Please do it. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think of your company. Any other company who watches this in the future? Do it. I challenge you to reach out to YouTubers that are more aggressive and more honest. Those of us that are not trying to make a living from this, but simply enjoy making content, that maybe this will help somebody that did order that is still scratching their head and wondering. If you still hadn't gotten your camera, I'm sorry. It is an awesome camera. I took mine back because I was concerned about the quality issues, but never actually encountered a quality issue. I ended up sticking with the DJI Action 5, and I just picked up the Osmo Pocket 3. DJI, I know you're not without your issues, but right now, you guys are killing it.